In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Because of the possibility for winter weather, the agency that manages the power grid that covers most of Texas, ERCOT, issued a weather watch. It runs Saturday through Tuesday. They're not calling for anyone to conserve power, and they do expect to be able to meet demand. KVUE's Daniel Perot takes a look at how state leaders say they've improved grid reliability.
A blast of frigid air and chance for snow and ice causes flashbacks. February 2021. Snow and ice fell, the temperatures plunged, the power went out for millions for days. But this time, experts say the grid is better prepared.
ERCOT is projecting a very healthy supply buffer, which is a good sign.
Since then, the state has done a lot to add more capacity to the grid to make it more reliant during periods of high demand.
We have a lot more generation on the system and a huge amount of battery storage that simply didn't exist back then, on the order of 17,000 megawatts.
Since 2021, experts say that Texas has shifted its approach to the grid from reactive to more proactive for things like extreme cold, requiring facilities to weatherize their equipment. ERCOT says it has conducted thousands of inspections to ensure compliance with those rules. They've also added an extra source of fuel on site for generators if there's a natural gas scarcity.
We're in a position of, we see the risk coming, and here's how we reduce the risk before it turns into an emergency.
Last year, state lawmakers passed and Governor Abbott signed Senate Bill 6, which increases state oversight of the largest energy users, allowing it to cut power to large consumers in emergencies.
SB 6 makes sure that the biggest power users are part of the reliability solution and they're not a blind spot.
So energy experts say they don't expect to see any power grid issues this week.
Today it's much more resilient, even if the weather is unpredictable.
In Austin, Daniel Perot, KVUE News.
As we have reported, Governor Greg Abbott is activating state emergency resources to prepare for this weekend's winter weather threat. More than a dozen state agencies are preparing, from TxDOT to the Texas A&M Forest Service to the Wildlife Department to the National Guard. We spoke with officials who say crews will be out pre-treating roadways and monitoring power outages, among other duties. But we're also told there are things Texans should be doing to stay prepared as well.
We're doing what we can and what we need to do. We also need Texans to do their part. That includes making sure you have a plan, making sure you have those emergency supplies readily available, and also just staying informed, keeping up to date with the local forecast.
Texans are urged to stay weather aware and check road conditions before traveling. Ahead of the cold snap, Austin Pets Alive says it's in need of fosters to take in 75 animals. KVUE's Brianna Perez explains how the shelter is preparing and how residents can help.
With an Arctic chill on the way, Austin Pets Alive is scrambling to place animals in temporary foster homes so they can ride out the cold front in warmth.
We can get those dogs into homes where they can be warm during the day and they can be taken out for very short walks. That's going to improve their quality of life immediately.
Susie Chase with Austin Pets Alive says while the shelter has working heaters in every kennel building, these kennels at the Town Lake shelter are open air so they can be drafty. And keeping pets in a smaller indoor room can be tough on bigger dogs.
It also means that we don't have a lot of places for the animals to move around during the day like we would during normal temperatures.
Since a February winter storm in 2021, officials say they have upgraded their 70-year-old building with different features like tarps and heating. Still, they say fosters are essential.
Sit. Good boy.
That's why Naomi Phelps says she decided to get involved in foster for the first time.
I just love animals in general, and I just can't wait to get to know another one.
Phelps says she heard about the urgent need for fosters this week and felt it was important to step up.
It's important to us because we're huge animal lovers, and we just know that they're at overcapacity right now, so we really want to just help out and support our community.
She says currently they are in need of large crates, dog chews, toys, and baby gates to keep those staying more comfortable. Austin Pets Alive is taking fosters until Friday. To learn more, you can head to KVUE.com. In downtown Austin, Brianna Perez, KVUE News.
Well, the Texas DMV is getting pushback over its new proposed rules that involve tightening ID requirements when getting vehicle registration and renewals. The move is putting immigration front and center, and the department gave people the opportunity to voice their thoughts. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez has their message.
I think the new rules have unintended consequences that go far beyond creating a safe place in Texas.
The state of Texas will lose money.
A lot of concern and worry pouring out of the Texas DMV headquarters Wednesday morning, where many spoke before the board about proposed new rules surrounding vehicle registrations and renewals.
We are in very dark times right now when it comes to government and interacting with the public.
A policy went into effect last November requiring people to show proof of legal status in order to get their vehicle registered. On top of that, people will also have to show a valid state driver's license and either a U.S. passport or foreign passport that isn't expired. A change pushed by Texas Representative Brian Harrison.
I'm very proud to have single-handedly enacted the most consequential conservative victory for border security here in the state of Texas.
Among the speakers were people representing small businesses, dealerships, and tax assessor collectors, all saying the rules will harm Texas businesses, lead to more uninsured vehicles, and force people to find illegal ways to obtain a registration.
What's happening today is a reaction to a far-right political perspective that is disconnected from everyday Texans who are just trying to get into their truck and go to the job site and get work done, take care of their families, contribute to the economy.
It's to the point to where if this continues, I honestly don't know how much longer our business of 30 plus years can stay in business.
The Texas DMV board plans to address all these concerns at its next board meeting next month, but Harrison says he's not concerned and also has plans to codify the change into statute.
The fact that I have forced through a policy change to where the Texas government is no longer going to be just handing out vehicle registrations to illegal aliens. If some people are inconvenienced by that, I'm sorry, that's what winning looks like, and I'm proud to have forced this policy change through.
Until then, the fight for these folks isn't over. In Austin, Kelsey Sanchez, KVUE News.
UT Austin is restructuring its provost's office. No details have been released about any staff reductions. Those changes impact 4 support units, including the Center for Teaching and Learning, the Office of Community Engagement, the VIC Advising Excellence Center, and the Office of Undergraduate Research. UT officials confirmed those 4 departments will cease operating as separate entities by the end of spring semester. UT leaders say the services will not disappear. Instead, they'll be absorbed by the individual colleges and schools that house similar functions. And they do want to emphasize the move is meant to reallocate resources where they are most effective for undergraduate teaching and learning. And those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.